Hi, my name is Miranda Perez, faculty member for the counseling program in the College of Education, and I'm also the trip leader for the Portugal Study Abroad program. This course is a short-term program that is attached to an addictions course, which looks at substance abuse, gambling, and other forms of addictive behaviors and how they impact the individual as well as society. So how does that connect to the trip? Well, in 2001, after a decades-long heroin and drug epidemic, the country of Portugal decided to come together, put their different interests and different departments aside, and develop a Portuguese national plan for decriminalization. And so thereby was born a very unique national approach to addressing addictions and addictive behaviors in the country of Portugal. And the headquarters for these agencies is in Lisbon, and so that's where we're going to go. You'll get to meet with policymakers, you'll get to meet with people who actually do evaluations to determine levels of treatment, you'll get to meet with mental health experts, and you'll also learn about the social connections that are germane to the course of action that was decided upon. This wasn't just a specific part of society that was dealing with drug addictions. This was people at all walks of life, in all socioeconomic levels, from all different backgrounds there. And so many people were dying because of this epidemic that the country decided to do something about it. And it is important to note that the approach that's taken there is very different than what is currently in use in the United States. And that's one of the factors that we also are going to learn about and discuss, how those cultural factors that exist in Portugal versus the cultural factors of the United States play a part in policy and response to drug addiction and addictive behaviors in general. So the trip is 2 weeks. You get to stay in a hotel with all the perks of being in a hotel for 2 weeks, you and your roommate. There's breakfast every morning. We are going to have classes at a nearby campus, walking distance, probably about less than 10 minutes. And we'll utilize a lot of the area just to visit the different offices and agencies that are there. There'll be some cultural things too. There'll be museums, of course, and sites, but then there'll also be things like visiting Porto, the inspiration for Harry Potter, and that's fun. There'll be boat rides, there'll be various tours, wine tasting, and olive oil tasting. So there'll be lots to see and do and enjoy while you're there. The one thing that we don't require is that we all travel together, because it gives you the opportunity to have ownership of your own schedule. And if you decide to come a couple of days early, whether it's directly to Lisbon or you wanted to stop over to Spain or France before or after the trip, you're at liberty to do so. That's always an option for you. If you'd like to travel with other members of the group who you will get to know as part of the class that would take place in the fall, then you're more than welcome to do that and make those arrangements. The class will take place in the fall, and we'll have several meetings, and you'll learn the information. You'll learn what goes on here. You'll learn the chemistry and the models of treatment that exist. You'll have to engage in course learning experientially that requires you to attend some 12-step meetings and kind of understand what that is, so that when and if you treat an individual with substance abuse or other kind of chemical abuse or addiction issues, that you understand exactly where you're sending them when you send them to a 12-step program. So back to the trip. The trip also is something that is a little bit separate. You'll be learning different things, as I said before, with the focus being on what goes on in Lisbon and what goes on in Portugal being the primary focus of the trip, as well as that comparison. If you have any questions or want any more details, then enter the DePaul Study Abroad webpage, search for short-term faculty-led programs, and look for Portugal. And there you'll find a bit more information about the trip in terms of the details about what you'll see, the specific days of the trip, and my contact information. And there's also a very informative video that was shot by one of our students that took part in the trip that would be really insightful and good for you to see the fun things that we actually did. So again, this is Miranda Perry's, leader of the Study Abroad trip to Portugal. Please contact me if you'd like more information. We hope to see you this fall.